Happy Saturday and welcome to the Connect Network TV. You are watching Major Impact and I am your host, Terry Hauser, here with my co-host, Aquania, and Ellie is getting ready to pop her baby out. So prayers for Miss Ellie. She is not here today. How are you, Miss Aquania? How are you doing for the summer?
I'm doing great. I'm super excited. I love the summer warm weathers and you look amazing with the colors. I love it.
We are coordinating. Come on, somebody. We didn't plan this. Okay, and today we have an exciting day. We have much planned for you all. So it's another month. So you know what that means. Barbecues, weather, vacation, and summertime fine.
Yes, and our guest today has some creative ways to keep you healthy and happy just by busting a move. So you don't want to miss that.
Yes, but first of all, you know we have to get into this week's hot topics. And we are kicking off with the lead story across the world. And I'm sure you have seen it by now. We are talking about none other than Shawn Diddy Combs. Let's pause for a second, okay? And so CNN published surveillance video compiled from multiple camera angles that appears to show Combs during a 2016 incident at the International Hotel in Century City that was mentioned in Cassie Ventura's complaint. Have you seen this video, Aquania?
Yes. And viewers, we've got to warn you, this video is triggering and disturbing, okay? There is so much to unpack here. But I guess the biggest question is, ladies, can Diddy come back from this?
Let me tell you something. So I am somebody that I don't watch a whole lot of like news and TV because it can be very negative. And to be honest, because we're in the industry, it can be very biased, right? But you could not escape this. If you were on Facebook, if you were on Instagram, if you were on YouTube, it was literally everywhere. And I'm just going to be honest. It was disturbing. The fact that she was on the ground and still being assaulted just as a woman, as a mother, as a human. It was tough to watch. What do you think, Aquania?
Absolutely. And this was a CNN exclusive. So I don't know how they got this tape, but according to CNN, they got access to it and they put it out ASAP. And it is triggering. It is disturbing because Diddy literally ran out of a hotel room with no clothes on just so he could grab and snatch her up. And then, as you said, kick her while she was down. Like, to me, the level of violence, the thought gone through it, the fact that he had enough sense to put a towel on, but he still ran out in anger and he tried to pull her back and use violence as a way to get her to return to their hotel room. I just felt like pouring out anger, sadness, and really so sad for the situation. And the fact that in the beginning, he tried to deny that any of these claims were true. And now he can't deny it because the video is pure evidence of his behavior. But have you seen his rebuttal?
I saw it. I'll be honest. I didn't even listen. It came up everywhere. You know how first the social media comes with this a little and it's muted. And I was like, I just don't even want to hear anything else. Like this situation just keeps on unfolding. I feel like we're going down a rabbit hole and so much more is going to come out. And even with the release of the video, many people are wondering, how was this leaked, right? So let's go back, right? Cassie, said in her lawsuit that, $50K, the hotel was paid $50K, right, in exchange for the footage. Now, some are assuming that during the raids of his LA, Miami, New York homes, that this footage was discovered and released. As a hotel owner, Aquania, what are your thoughts about the hotel selling it?
This type of behavior, I don't accept. And the fact that they tried to hide it and allow him to legally hide that it happened, I also do not accept. I think that this is a terrible situation for the hotel as well as him. But I completely agree with Ventura's attorney in that video that Puffy put out in response to this video is totally a selfish ploy to take the attention off of him, right? Like he's just trying to get sympathy for his situation. And he tries to acknowledge, he was struggling with addiction and other things back then, but now he has had therapy and he is a changed person. I can't speak to any of that being true or not, but the fact remains that the footage exists. The claims were denied and now they cannot be denied any longer. on multiple occasions, even in one situation, projected abuse on a woman who in no circumstance would have deserved it. So I feel like this is just a lot, and the hotel may have some repercussions, but it's not clear what charges they're going to face. But I would definitely say this is evidence, and it's definitely going to play a role in the larger picture of what's happening.
Yeah, and thank you for talking about the repercussions, because I was going to ask you about that, because if they were paid not to say anything, it's like, was it really the hotel, or was it leaked through the raids? If it was leaked through the raids, wasn't that footage captured by law enforcement?
Exactly.
I'm
So
gonna leave it alone. There's a lot going on here.
somebody's got some explaining to do. Okay, Lucy.
Yes, 1,000%. So Ventura received an outpouring of support on social media. I've even seen a bunch of people even like apologizing to her, because they said some really harsh things when everything was unfolding. So after the release, the video had many people highlighting her story and ways to support victims of domestic violence. I will say that one positive thing that's coming out of this is just a focus on help and support for domestic violence, and just bringing awareness to the situation. But what even more interesting is how Jay-Z and Beyoncé are now getting intertwined with this. So from attending Diddy's so-called freak-offs, right, to widespread talk of alleged, and we do want to stress alleged, the alleged murder of Kathy White more than a decade ago. Have you tapped into this story as well, as far as Jay-Z and Beyonce and them kind of being intertwined with all of this just hot mess? There's nothing else to call it but a hot mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't know what to make of any of this. I feel like this is all it's crazy how it's coming up, but I don't think anything is a coincidence. And I think we all just need to keep our ears to the ground to see what the facts are, and do not pass judgment until we know more. For those of you who are not up on this alleged scandal, fitness and beauty expert Kathy Core Anna White was found dead in her Manhattan apartment on September 2nd, 2011. White was a Howard University graduate, a contributor to various online publications, and was the CEO of her own public relations firm, White Label PR, and also the alleged mistress of Jay-Z. The reported cause of death was an aneurysm, and rumors were sparked after she and model Claudia Jordan were allegedly spotted at a Las Vegas nightclub, that they were sitting together with Jay-Z and Puffy. And after her death, it was almost like Claudia never mentioned her again and claimed they weren't that close of friends. What are your thoughts on this story, ladies? Or my girl Terry, what are your thoughts on this? And does it look like Jay-Z and Bey are involved? And do you look at them a little differently because of this alleged connection?
So they've honestly been very quiet. They've been very, very quiet. And a lot of people are saying that like they're next. Puffy pissed off somebody super important for all this to be unfolding. It's just a lot going on. I think that in the coming days and weeks, we're going to hear a lot more. Honestly, and I'm just going to be transparent. It's nobody wins in these situations. Nobody wins. And I'm just going to be honest. As a mother, I know you're a mother also. Like, this is even like prom time, right? And my goddaughter went to prom. We have people going to prom, and I saw like the Combs girls. There was some social media outlets that started showing like the Combs, twins going on prom. And we have to think about all of the people who are going to be impacted by this long term. Like, we're talking about it, but these are people's lives, and so I don't know what's going to happen. I definitely think that more is going to unfold. And I think that no matter what, like, nobody wins in situations like this. So we need to, get to the truth, get to a resolution, and then help the victims get past it so we can move on.
Yes, I'm here for the victims and healing. I think that's what's really going to come down to the necessity, because at the end of the day, Jay-Z and Beyoncé are quiet anyway. I don't really expect them to talk much. They don't bring attention to themselves, nor do they let you know what's going on behind their walls. So I feel like if they are involved, their lawyers will do all the talking, and we will probably never hear anything from them, because they have just so much on the line publicly that they're going to try to protect. But in addition to that, I just feel like we need to wait and see. But I'm here for the victims. I'm here for the families to heal and hopefully have a way to move forward. Now, y'all know we could go on and on about this, but the final layer of the Kathy White story is that many people are tying Beyonce to this alleged murder and says that she shares all the illicit details in her new cowboy track, Daughter. The lyrics are really wild, and between the TikTok and IG social media going all crazy and all the uncensored input and the pieces coming together, it's unimaginable to these murders and scandals together like this. But what are your thoughts, Terry? Have you heard the song? Have you heard the lyrics? Have you seen it on social?
So I think that at this point, anything anybody says is going to be tied. Like they're going to link anything. To be honest, and I think that they're wiser than that. They wouldn't just be putting out a song, with all kinds of things in there. But you can definitely read in between the lines and get into some assumptions. I just think everybody's so tunnel vision right now that everybody's afraid to do anything. But what's already out there is already out there. So we'll see how it connects. But I think she's a little bit smarter than to kind of imply herself in her music, especially recent music. Like this isn't like this is an old song. This is something new. Come on, somebody.
But you know what they say, when you think you got away with something,
well, that's true.
You might get a little sloppy. I'm not saying nothing, but I'm just saying, especially if this was like a decade ago, right? Like you think you got away with it, but
right. And she made Cowboy Carter before Renaissance, so come on now. That's something to think about.
Well, we'll have to see, because Beyonce speaks through her music. We don't know if it's the truth or just another story she's come to imagine, but we are here for all the tea and we'll be happy to share more.
And I'm sure the Beehive is going to have a lot to say about this. So they're a force within themselves. And so we will be keeping our ears to the streets. But in the meantime, stay tuned, because coming up next, we have our favorite social media influencer taking us back to the old school and sharing why she hopped on social media to bust